So when I'm in physical consciousness, my consciousness is very much restricted by time and weight and length and width and breadth and height and all of these things. And so I see myself in that way, but I also see you in the same way. And in terms of soul consciousness, which for me is the spiritual consciousness, the identity of the inner being, I focus my attention here, not on the skin, but on the being that is inside, just in front of the brain. And in that awareness, I can feel I am the being of light, the being of peace, the being of love, the being of purity, of truth, of joy. This is truly who I am. And I've forgotten. And because the spirit, the soul, is so subtle, we've lost touch with it. We've forgotten about ourselves and connecting with our own being. And so I put myself in a box and I put you in a box also. And my behavior, of course, then is very different to what it should be as a human being. In spiritual consciousness, I access the treasures that I carry within myself. In physical consciousness, there's a very different influence at work. For example, I see myself as having a better education than you. Well, that was my fortune, my good luck, but it goes to my head and I feel superior to you. I forget that maybe it's not just my university paper degree, but maybe you have had a greater experience of life than me, and so you understand a lot more than me. But my judgment is narrow and limited. I become critical and I behave as if I'm your superior, which is not right at all. So ego comes in the way. Maybe it's anger that comes in the way. I'm older than you, you're younger than me, and so why aren't you listening to me? But age is totally related to the body, which has a beginning and an end. Age is not related to the soul. And so, how can I expect that you should listen to me? Maybe your years are younger, but you have greater wisdom than I do. Who knows? And maybe my grey hair doesn't indicate greater wisdom. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I should be able to see you as my equal, one with whom I can have a communication that is open and filled with respect and dignity. But of course, in body consciousness, physical consciousness, anger gets in the way, and then I have a problem. It's my problem. I'm creating unrest and discomfort for myself through my own anger, but of course, it also then means I create a disturbance in the relationship and distress for you also. Maybe in my narrow vision of thinking of myself as this physical being, I forget that there's abundance and enough for all of us to share. Mahatma Gandhi said there's enough for everyone's need, but not enough for even one person's greed. And in my narrow thinking and limited vision, I want for me and my kith and kin. I accumulate money, I accumulate diamonds and pearls maybe, I accumulate shoes, I accumulate cars, whatever it may be. But that accumulation means that, of course, there's no equity. And so there isn't any justice in the world today because we're impacted by our physical consciousness and the anger, ego, greed, lust, and attachment that comes in that package. And so if I want to be free from all these limitations, it's simple, it's easy. I can come back to the awareness of the soul. I, the soul, am seeing you, the soul, and I see your goodness shining brightly. I, the soul, am listening through these ears, and I actually hear what you want to tell me. It's not my imagination. It's not my mind running off in a different direction while you're speaking. No, I respect you and I want to hear what you have to share. Soul consciousness in listening makes a big difference. And then maybe as I speak, when I speak in soul consciousness, the tone of my voice is very different to when I speak in body consciousness. So my whole behavior changes with soul consciousness, in which soul consciousness reflects the qualities of the inner being and is able to give happiness to all. And in body consciousness, well, the converse happens. Because I'm impacted by negativity, then of course what I'm going to say and do isn't going to be giving happiness. Maybe it's even giving a lot of sorrow and pain. And I'm accumulating the burden of that, which makes me unhappy, of course. So if I want to change the world, it's not difficult. But I have to learn to change myself. I have to press this button here and come back to the shining light that I am, the awareness of the soul. And it's something that you have to experiment and see for yourself. Practice this through the day. Just check. Am I here or am I here? Am I soul conscious or have I forgotten and come into body consciousness? And when I practice soul consciousness, I can see the truth and beauty of that awareness and the impact it has on me and everyone else around me.